This is going to be just a quick EDC video, what I carry every day. A couple of variations on here. For the most part, this is what I will do carry with me literally every day. One of them is, of course, my watch. It's good to have notifications on there. Plus, it's nice to have the time without having to pull out your phone every time. Of course, phone's on there as well. Who doesn't carry one of these? I just have mine protected with the OtterBox. Put a little magnetic strip on the back there, that way I can mount it in my vehicle, so I don't have to worry about holding that while I'm driving. I do carry this Fenix UC35. It's a pocket-sized rechargeable flashlight with a tactical tail switch on it. More of my everyday. It's a little large, but it seats very well in my pocket. Surprisingly, it's very, very comfortable. It's got the USB rechargeable on there, so don't have to worry about battery running low. I do have spares, but if I'm ever running low, I can always charge it or switch it out. Good thing is, unlike traditional, batteries, AA's, AAA's, you don't have to worry about whether or not they're fully charged. You might be running low. You'll never know till your battery starts to go out. At that point, it's probably too late. On these, if you have doubt, recharge it. And you know when you leave out the door that it's 100% fully charged. This is my wallet. It's just a basic Kydex credit card holder style from On Your 6 Design. They're local here to San Antonio, so I was able to pick this up at the time I got this holster for my shield. Now for the carry, I do carry two different types. One is, go ahead and get this cleared, is my compact. Depending on what I'm wearing, I'll go with the M&P shield. I do have this chambered in 9mm. I do have the little Texas backplate on there. As you can see, I got a little nick from there. Went ahead and installed some Trijicon night sights on there. And don't worry, I'm not flagging myself with a loaded weapon. I did go ahead and get the Apex trigger on here. Love the way that feels compared to the standard trigger. I know this is a performance center, but honestly, I've had a few performance centers. I don't see a huge difference on the actual trigger. It is smoother. It pulls about the same, goes just as far back as far as take up and all that, so I prefer the Apex. Went ahead and put the Talon grips on here. I got the rubberized ones. They feel so much better. I originally did have the sandpaper style ones. They were just too aggressive. Went ahead and took the finish off the barrel. It is a ported barrel. The main reason I got this particular firearm to match my full-size M&P, because it's also the ported. The other one's a 9-inch long, but I figured might as well get the little brother version of it. And of course, Trijicon night sights when I do have it by my bedside, which I don't normally, but I have in the past when this was my primary and only. So it's a nice little gun. I know a lot of people like the shield. There's a reason it's popular. I was surprised at how accurate this particular firearm was when I first shot it. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. As you can see, it does say Performance Center. Some of you might be noticing that it does not have a safety. That is because I have a standard shield, and I carried that one. Then I got the Performance Center, which only comes with the safety on there. So I went ahead and switched the frame. All the internals, everything on that got switched as well. But again, just something a little different. And when I'm not carrying something that's going to be, easy to conceal as far as clothing goes, I'll go ahead and put that on there. I do primarily, now that I do have my full size, I went ahead with the Glock 19, at least until I get the M&P 2.0 core version, the competition optics ready equipment. I've seen it both ways, so I can put a red dot on it. Then I'll replace this, but for now, I do have my Gen 4 Glock 19. I do have the Barracuda extensions. It adds a few rounds, so a little bit more capacity when you carry it. I do have some Hornady hollow points on here, the critical defense. Now on this particular handgun, I did do some modifications on it. I'm not worried about carrying a pistol of any sort, modified or not, as long as I train with it. Now this does have approximately a 4-pound trigger pull weight. It does have the Apex on here. It has a wonderful feel. I love the flat face. Like I said, I do have Apex on pretty much all of my pistols that I will carry or do carry at some point. And this one I do appendix carry it. It's just a little nicer, a little bit more comfortable for me. Went ahead and did the upgrade with the takedown lever on here. It just makes it so much easier. Before, not that it's incredibly hard, but I don't like to try. I want to be able to just to get this off in a second, just automatically. Pull it back, slide it, strip it, you're good to go. Went ahead and did the slide release on there as well. I kind of went with that brushed stainless steel look. This is the mag release. I am left-handed, so I went ahead and switched it over. I like this because it doesn't protrude and it's got a smooth texture to it. So when I'm pressing on it, it's subtle. I know it's a button, I know it's there, but it doesn't bother me, it doesn't get in my way. I have some, well, I purchased extended mag releases, but they do get in my way, especially the ones, if I ever get a firearm that does not have it reversible, where it has to be on the left side for right-handed individuals. As I'm holding it, it would constantly get in my way of this finger. As you can see, it kind of overlaps on that. So I had to do that extension. Another modification that I found very, very useful was the magwell. Now this magwell is by Agency Arms. It is a little on the pricey side. You can get some blemish ones for about a $25–30 savings over a brand new one. If you do plan on utilizing it on a regular basis, or don't really care too much if it does get a minor nick or a little scratch, I'd recommend just going with the blend models. A lot of times you really can't notice it, or it'll be something so small and insignificant that you probably won't care. Like on this one, this is a blend model. You can kind of tell right there at the top. It has a small little abrasion. It's not so much an abrasion as it is. It looks kind of like a little wear mark. Very hard to tell, but within a day, I actually nicked it, so would have happened anyway, would have had some sort of blood. Now, I don't do speed loading, anything like that, but I do like that it does make it a little easier for me to grip. Let me see, I think someone's at my door, let's find out. So, for that hand placement, it lifts that pinky up just enough. It gives you a very good solid feel to the gun. Although it does overlap a little bit, it does push this meaty part of your palm up enough that if you were to be into speed reloading, you wouldn't have that get in your way. I don't see it as being a big issue, but it does make a significant difference on the way the gun feels in your hand. From that, I went ahead and put the night sights on this as well. It does sit by my bed most nights. Of course, little US plate on there, as you can kind of see. It does co-witness, so that is a good thing on there. I can kind of make out the dot right there. This one is a 3.25 MOA. I like it. I do a lot of target shooting. Went ahead and put the Surefire on there. Again, this is for home defense as well as carry, so if I am at home, it's dark, I can just switch the light on, have it be constant. The way that I hold my gun, I'm training myself to never put my finger on the trigger unless I'm about to literally shoot. So even at the range, I will be aiming. Once I have it, I slowly move my trigger finger and pull. I don't aim with my finger on the trigger, wait, and then slowly. I always trying to train myself to never put my finger on the trigger until I'm about to shoot. At that point, I already have target acquisition taken care of. And that's just because some of my triggers are rather light. Most of my rifles and handguns have 3.5-pound triggers. My M&P has a 3-pound trigger pull. So I don't want to be aiming, have to move, or get startled, and that little contraction of my finger sends a shot where I don't want it to be. View handguns as a very, very last resort. I will give a beating or take a beating if it means I don't have to shoot somebody, within reason, of course. I mean, I'm not going to try to take on 4 or 5 guys because I think I'm a tough guy. If I'm being attacked by 4 or 5 guys, 4 or 5 people are probably going to meet this guy. No, if it's not life-threatening, or if I don't get that sense, that adrenaline, that instinct that my life literally is in danger, this won't even come out of its holster. But if it does get to that point, like I said, if I'm aiming the barrel of this, it's probably with intent. So in either case, I try not to put my finger on the trigger on that till it's good to go. Went ahead and put the stainless steel guide right on there as well. Now this one is with the 18-pound. No, I'm sorry. No, this one is the 18-pound spring on there. I was thinking it was a 20, but I put that on a polymer 80 build that I have. And I, of course, took the finish off the barrel as well. I do have a threaded barrel. I just haven't put it on here because my suppressor is still in federal hold. Pretty much just, it's in jail. I can go shoot it at the range, but it's kind of useless to go shoot my suppressors at the range because there's so many other people shooting. I can't tell which firearm is mine. It's just crowded, it's indoors, and same thing with my 300 Blackout. It's just a waste of supersonic ammo. There's so many people shooting, I can't appreciate the suppressor. So this is, again, my everyday carry. I do modify pretty much everything I own. It makes it yours. It makes me happy. This one is for LAS concealment. I did want to get one from Last Line of Defense. I've seen his items. I've never seen one in person, but I just get feedback from individuals of how great the quality is for his stuff. However, he does not make the firearms I have in left-handed. I wanted to get this one from him specifically, but unfortunately, again, he does not do left-handed with the light. He does have limited left-handed, but no light. Optics for his style, I wouldn't think matter. Most of his are relatively low, so optic or no optic, I'm sure you could still put an optic on, even if it's not specified. Now for knives, I did get this mini Griptilian. This is the 556-1, I believe. It has the steel a little bit different. I believe most of these, I forgot what steel the traditional one comes in, but this one is the 20 CV steel. It's a little bit better. I did have an inexpensive Kershaw, but I kept breaking the tips, and it would be doing the most mundane of things. I'd be just cutting a box. All of a sudden, I'd notice next time I pull it out, the tip is missing. Went ahead and got it replaced. I have great warranty, no issues with that. However, I don't want to be doing that every 2-3 months because that's roughly how long they were. Last time I had the Oso Sweet by Kershaw. Somewhere about $30, depending where you buy it. This one's a bit more pricey. This one does come in at about $170. This is my first experience with this. I was going to get the standard Griptilian, which I ultimately did end up purchasing, but I gave it to my son. I just thought this one looked so much cooler, better steel. Now, I'm not a nut when it comes to steel, so I don't know all the differences. Other than, of course, this one does hold a very, very good edge, which so far has remained true. I've yet to sharpen it since the day that I purchased it. It is a few months old. Now, I did want to get something just a little larger. This, for the most part, perfectly fine. Meets 97, 99% of my everyday needs. It does have a deep carry, so that also conceals very well. And again, I can't stress how well this actually conceals and how comfortable it is. These deep pocket clips do make a huge, huge difference. Now, a couple months later, I decided, let me just go ahead and get something a little larger. I was looking at different knives. I figured, you know what, I do like this one enough. I know they make the regular Griptilian, not the mini. So went ahead and got this one. Now this is the exact same thing, of course, larger body style. Same 20 CV steel on there. Just the big brother of it, really. Price point was about the same. This one was a little bit more at $175, but this has been the most useful. Now I lost my phone the other day at the movie theater. I couldn't see anything. It's dark. Apparently it slipped out of my pocket, and when I sat down it must have slipped and fell. I was able to just go ahead and get this after the movie was over. Shown in the theater, easily spotted my phone. Without that, normally most people, when they drop something, they get their phones, they turn on the light, and they're using the flashlight of the phone. But of course, if you don't have your phone, what flashlight are you going to use? It's a great thing to have. If you don't already have one, I'm sure if you start carrying it, you will notice how often you end up using it. I use this for work. Now this is just again, supposed to be a quick video, first video up on my channel. But yeah, that's just every day. I do have other items I'll share. I do have some other firearms. For the most part, though, I will say they have this similar look. I will have some sort of light on it. I do have an RMR, and I will have these features that make it just a little nicer. It makes it more ergo friendly. And if you've ever carried a gun on a regular daily basis, you clean it, you do all these things, might as well be comfortable. I view it the same as a car. If you're one of those individuals that has a job that you are required to be in your vehicle or traveling so much, invest in the nicer car. Some people are like, why get an RMR or carry? Well, because it does make site acquisition and staying on targets easier, faster. And if you're in a situation, I'd rather have two ways of doing that. I do have my backup iron sights, so it's just a matter of convenience, preference as well. And another thing I do like about this, which I'd still be able to do without this because of these tall sights, is racking it. I have just the ability to do that. You could do that on your leg, you could do it on your belt. It's got its function, it's got its uses. Same thing with the light. Well, you're in the daytime, why are you carrying it? Because the way this is set up, I don't have to take it off. It can just stay on there. It doesn't bother me. The weight is so minimal on almost all lights. It's not one of those huge Enforce ones or those huge stream lights that look like cannons stuck to the bottom of your gun. Look how flush that is. The barrel sticks out just a hair more than the actual lights. When I hold this, my thumb is naturally right by the pedal, so I can just turn it on. If I need to, I could quickly just push this button. It's on constant. I don't imagine I'm going to be in a situation where I don't have a split second to kind of turn the light on. Especially if I'm turning the light on, it's more than likely bump in the night sort of situation where I hear something and I have a reason to believe there's something going on. It's just practical to have it on there at all times. Now I do have this by my bedside as well, because not every noise is going to be a bump in the night. I might just get a flashlight. Again, not everything's going to be a threat just because it's the middle of the night. So I do have this as well. But again, this is just have it together, one complete package. Shoot this one more because I do carry it. Same thing with my shield. I do carry this often, and I am pretty proficient with it. And of course, this one just has the basic night sights on it, but I can hit targets. Most of us, I believe, for self-defense, train anywhere between 5 to 10 yards, and most of us who shoot on a regular basis can hit that pretty easily. I do like practice shooting, so I do like shooting out the bullseyes, but in realistic sense, I'd be able to hit the size of a human target, no problems, without much aiming at that distance, to be honest, as far as just lining up the sights, pulling the trigger a couple of times. But of course it does help to continue to practice, especially if you're using more than one style of gun. This is my first and only Glock. Not a Glock fan, but I figured, hey, that many people like it, there has to be something to it. Give it a try. Don't be one of those people that hate on something and just refuse to try something new. So I did have a little extra money. Last shoe was good to me, so I went ahead and purchased this, even though I didn't really like Glock, especially when I compared the trigger. But switched that out, did some modifications on it. I'm happy with it. I just don't feel the need to do stippling. It's an added cost. Same thing with slide cuts on the slide. I'm not about to pay $400 to $600 just to have it look cool on the slide. You don't have to have that. One thing I would recommend is a trigger that's comfortable for you. If you like the Glock trigger, leave it alone. If you like a different style or different feel, try a different trigger. That and sights that you're comfortable with. I think those are the most important things to have on any gun. I would recommend, if you have the body type for it, try it. Now, from time to time, depending on what I'm wearing, it really depends on the jeans. I do feel this pressing in the pelvic area, but it's noticeable, but not uncomfortable. Once you get used to it there, you know what it is. You just kind of let it go. You're out of sight, out of mind, and your mind just kind of goes numb to it. You just know it's there, but it's not hurting. It's not anything. I can sit with this. I can do everything. The only thing I would recommend if you do start carrying appendix is practice going to the bathroom. It sounds funny, but it's true. When you go to the bathroom, depending on where you're at, for example, if you go to a restaurant, you usually have stalls. Now, if you have stalls, you have the little thin, short walls between you and the next person. You can't be taking this off in front of everybody. They're probably going to freak out. What I end up doing is I have a Velcro Alpha, Blue Alpha belt. I just take off this side. I take out the belt, I unhook this, and as you open up the fly to your pants, I kind of move this over a little bit. Of course, we have the don't look rule, but some things are going to stand out. Instead of pulling out a penis, you pull out this thing. People are going to notice. So anyway, yeah, that is the EDC. Kind of rambled on a little bit about everything else that's on here, but I try to keep it simple. Phone, knife, wallet, light, and of course, firearm. And I don't carry these at the same time. It's one or the other. This typically goes when I'm wearing my shield, because usually it's because I'm wearing something that's lighter. Some shorts, light shirt, for example. Put this on there as well. Yeah, but I'm going to watch, have it on me at all times. Who doesn't really have some sort of time-telling piece, if not your phone? Plus, it's good to have it. Your phone might die.